What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. It is Monday. It is April 1st, and we are back. It's actually a 14-game slate, which I'm very surprised about. Usually after the weekend, a lot of teams have Monday off, but there's 14 games. We're going to look at them. Unfortunately, it is broken up again on DraftKings. Fanduel probably has the all-day thing, which I would never play the all-day thing, but it is broken up into 3 different ones. So the early slate all have weather concerns, which we can talk about. The turbo slate has these 4 games, which has a weather concern for Baltimore. And then we've got a main slate here of 7 games on this main slate. But we're going to cover all the games. If you've never been here before, hopefully you're in for a treat. So what we do is we do things a little bit different. Unlike the other videos, other places out there, they just give you like 5 plays and that's it. We're actually going to dig into every game. We're going to look at the plays. We're going to look at them, and we're going to look at the pitchers. We're going to look at the bats. So try to give you an all-encompassing baseball video to help you build. And if you go check out our other videos, you will see everyone has been talking about how they've done this weekend. It's been amazing this weekend. So not only do we do FantasyTeamAdvisors.com just DFS, we do sports betting as well. And our sports bets have been hitting this weekend. I just wanted to show you 2 back-to-back times that we've done round robins. So we did one on Friday night, $15 won 105, and then on Sunday we did $15 and won 105 as well. Just the last 2 we've done. So what we did was the only one that did let us down was Aaron Judge, but we had Schwarber first inning. First inning. He hit that home run right off the bat. Then Bobby Witt came through for us as well. They ended up winning 11-0. So Judge would have made it 230 or something like that. But I will take almost 10 times value. So we did that, and then Friday night we did the same thing. Brandon Lau and Mookie Betts both homered, with Gleyber Torres not homering. So another Yankee that let us down, but the Yankees swept Houston. So we are all winners in everyone else's mind. So again, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com is the website. So you can check that out. Everything we have to offer on MLB is right there, from player projections all the way down to umpire factors, to ballpark ratings, to chalk that you want to play or don't play. We've got it for you. So FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, FTA Plus is $24.99 a month. If these videos aren't enough, you need a little bit of boost, you can check that out. And I did actually have I had 3 people reach out. I'm not going to call them by name, but 3 people reached out separately and asked if we could keep the coupon code till Friday. So that's what we're going to do. FTA Plus, a yearly pass, normally $199. If you use the promo code MLB VIP, all one word, all capital letters, MLB VIP, instead of $199, you're going to get it for $75. It'll go through this week. That I guess they wanted to wait for payday or whatever. I'm not going to, neither here nor there. So this will be the last week for it. So go check it out. What does that include? It includes MLB, NASCAR, NBA, NFL once it's back, and PGA. I'm looking into UFL, but the scoring, I don't know about UFL. So we'll see. Possibly. Maybe we'll do UFL as well, but I don't know if there's enough interest. So definitely check that out. Go check out the website, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. If you are new to the channel, we have a giveaway every single day. 2 of them on the baseball videos and 2 of them on the NBA videos. So the way to do it, super easy. Like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment for the comment picker. 50 likes on a video, we will give away a free week of DFS. 100 likes is a free month. 125 likes is a free year of FTA Plus. And 150 or more likes on any video, a lifetime pass. Normally worth $500. So in that instance, we had 135 likes on yesterday's MLB video. So one person, maybe it's you watching, will win a free year. And if you commented on other videos, you have a chance to win as well. So that being said, 135 likes. Everyone who left a comment is in the random comment picker. So we are going to pick the winner of the free year of FTA Plus. So hopefully you are watching. And we try to do this every single day. So the winner is Michael Schwick 111. Go Braves. So congratulations, Michael. I know you watch this video, so like this video and email me dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp, the number 1 at gmail.com. Let me know if you already have a username on the website, or if you don't, give me an email that you would like to use and a username, and congratulations on winning the free year of FTA Plus. And you guys can do it again. Let's get this video to 150 likes. I know we can do it. I know we can get another winner for a lifetime pass. The second way to do it, like the video, be a subscriber, and tell me who is going to hit a home run and what inning are they going to hit it in. I need both of these. And put the distance traveled as a tiebreaker. We haven't had to use it yet, but it's just a tiebreaker. So if you get it closest without going over, you will win a free week of content. If you get both the player and the inning they hit it in, you will get a free month of FTA Plus. So that's the beginning of the rundown. Let's check out everything we have to offer. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the ballpark factors. So the ballpark factors for today, meaning the plays, the chances for the best offensive output here, we can look. It's not huge. Guaranteed rate field a little bit, Atlanta versus Chicago, but there is weather concern, so I'm a little bit scared of that. But there's no ones that jump out right now with wind blowing out, humid weather, or anything like that that gives a boost to home run. So as of now, there's not really much. If we look at the home runs zones, the ones that are projected for the most, Minute Maid Park between Toronto and Houston, really close. Toronto's edging them out for home runs in this one. T-Mobile Park between Cleveland and Seattle. Seattle's taking the cake on this one. Tropicana Field, Texas. So the Rangers are leading Tampa Bay right now for best chance of home runs today. And then guaranteed rate field, like I said, Atlanta's edging out Chicago White Sox right now, but the weather kind of plays a concern. And then we have a huge one, Chase Field, Yankees versus Arizona. Yankees are fourth most best chance to hit home run. So a Juan Soto, a Judge who's been not doing good right now, Oswaldo Cabrera. It just depends. Check those out. These are current. Also, at the end of this video, after we go through the pitching, we're going to give you the top 20 batters after 10,000 simulations. So we do 20,000 simulations a day. You can check out the MLB simulations. We're going to give you, after the initial 10,000, we're going to give you the top 20 batters that pop out to us, the initial 20. Now, these can change a little bit. In the description of this video will be today's article that coincides with this video. It'll also have the link to Discord, so go check that out. We give out core plays there, we give out value plays, and we go back and forth sports bets as well. On top of that, we have partnered up with DFS Hero. DFS Hero has a great lineup optimizer. Use our information, plug in our data into their lineup optimizer, and bring home the bacon with us. So that's what we've been doing. If you use our link in the description, sign up. You're going to get 15% off your first purchase. And if you sign up, you go through the trial, and you pay for a month, we're going to give you FTA Plus free for a month. If you pay for their year service, we're going to give you a free year on top of it. Say you already bought a year to us for $75, then you purchase a year from them, we're going to give you a year on top of it. So you're going to get 2 years of FTA Plus for the price of 1 year of that and DFS Hero, if that's the way you go. So let me know. We have partnered with them, and we're very excited to partner with DFS Hero. So that being said, we are looking at the games. First game on the slate here, Braves at the White Sox. You got Charlie Morton versus Chris Flexen. Morton, he's defying age and time. He's had good games, and he's had bad. Morton, 91 plate appearances, 275 batting average against the White Sox. Flip side of that, Chris Flexen, 30 plate appearances, 292. Again, it's very hard to take pitchers against the Braves lineup, and we can kind of just look. So Charlie Morton here, game log or splits wise, last year faced the White Sox one time, got the win, went 7 innings in that game, only had 4 strikeouts, so very low, no ERA, had a great game there. But the weather is a concern that I'm scared about a little bit. Okay, so we'll kind of look at that. But again, I don't think you could really go wrong. Chris Flexen, on the other hand, he's 6,500. Splits-wise, did not play the Braves last year, coming from the Mariners. Yeah, he was Seattle and Colorado and had a 6.86 ERA, so stack the Braves. It's literally pretty much anyone on the Braves that I would look at, seeing if anyone jumps out that have had success against them. Matt Olson, I would definitely look at. I would look at Ozuna, Ozzy Albies, Acuna. It doesn't matter. It really just comes down to the lineup that comes out there. But I don't think you could go wrong with any of these Braves bats. I think you should be pretty good with the Braves bats. White Sox bats, on the other hand, maybe the ones that jump out that have had prior success to him. I mean, Benintendi batting .250, 7 for 28 with 2 doubles and 2 home runs. Got Martin Maldonado, 8 for 18, 2 doubles. Moncada, 3 for 6 with a home run. Eloy, 1 for 4. Luis Roberts, 0 for 3. I'd use him. But again, you got to get, especially creatively here with a 3-game slate, but weather being a concern in all of them, we could get screwed over with the weather. So it just really depends on the lineup that comes out. But I'd probably lean more towards the Braves lineup. I don't know if I'd use either of these pitchers. Morton for tournaments, I'm okay with. Every game's going to be a tournament, though, when there's only 3 games there. So Morton I'm okay with. I'm not using Flexen at all. I'm stacking the Braves, and I'm counting my money with that stack. Next one's the Rockies at the Cubs. You got Dakota Hudson versus Shota. Now, Shota, obviously making his debut, had a pretty good spring being in this lineup here. Let's see, yeah. Yep. We look at him. I guess he had a 4.66 ERA in 3 spring starts, but his 19 strikeouts over 9.2. So even with his ERA, the strikeouts are going to give you fantasy points, especially against a Colorado team who they did okay for 1 game against Arizona, but now they're in Chicago. The weather might be a concern. We will look at that. But if you look at Dakota Hudson, I didn't realize he was on the. He's obviously faced the Cubs before, being with the Cardinals, but 89 plate appearances, a 350 batting average against him, not boding well. If you just look at the batters have had success, Yan Gomes is 4 for 11. Ian Happ is 4 for 14 with 2 doubles. You've got Dansby is 6 for 12 with 3 doubles against him. Bellinger's 5 for 10 with a double. Suzuki is 2 for 6. Cooper is 2 for 4. So yeah, I would definitely look at stacking here. We were all over Chris Morel yesterday. He had a home run for us there, 2 for 7 with a double as well. So yeah, I would definitely be looking at the Cubs as a stack. I don't want anything to do with Dakota Hudson, and I will take a shot at Shota. Didn't mean to say it like that. Then the final game on this early slate, Marco Gonzalez versus Mackenzie Gore. You got Marco Gonzalez, 27 plate appearances. I can't believe he's still a starter in the MLB. To be honest with you, I think a sneaky stack might be the Nats here. I think both could be a sneaky stack, but I think, again, Joey Gallo, 6 for 20 with a double, 2 home runs. Still don't trust him enough. Jesse Winker, you could look at. CJ Abrams, Lane Thomas. These are the guys that I would be using against Marco Gonzalez. I would definitely be stacking. And the flip side of that, Mackenzie Gore, I kind of like Mackenzie Gore as a pitcher. So if you were to go early and you were to go Mackenzie Gore and Shota, we could make a lineup out of this. So that's kind of early. I mean, the obvious stacks, I think, would be an Atlanta stack, probably a 5-2 stack. So people who are new to MLB, basically the optimal stack is usually a 5-2. In a 3-gamer, though, you can come here to MLB, you can come down to the bottom to the optimal stacks, and we can kind of see in a 3-game slate what makes the most sense or what historically has done well. And sometimes it might be surprising to you, sometimes it might help. So if we look at a 3-game stack, if you look, the most has been 3-3. So that's between 2019 and 2023. Normally, on a normal stack, it's usually a 5-2 is the majority of what you're looking for, except if there's 15 games. So overall, there is 14 games, but on this early slate, it's 23%, which is the most for a 3-3, and then 15% is a 5-2. Meaning, so if you were to come in here and you were to put, just like if you went Acuna, if let's say you also go Michael Harris, then you go first base and you go Matt Olson, you would come to Chicago and then you would pick 3 from Chicago. Depending on who it is, you really don't know. But Bellinger had some good numbers there against them. Dansby had some good numbers. Chris Morel as well. But then you can't, that's the problem. When you build a lineup like this, you can't build through that because then you only have 600 between 2 players. So that is a start of some sort of stack. Depending on if you're going to be able to afford it, it depends on the lineup that they bring out there. So those are the first 3 games. We'll go to the next. So we got Kansas City versus Baltimore. Tell me, Baltimore, they didn't give them the easiest schedule I've ever seen to start the year. They got Angels. They didn't win that game Sunday, though, did they? Last I looked, they had not. They didn't sweep like the Yankees. I know that. Let's see real quick. There it is. No, they lost 4-1. Tyler Wells gave up 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and they really just didn't do anything, which is nuts. No one was on Detmers, and this is where it'll be different than other DFS providers. I was wrong about Detmers. I actually took him out of my player pool, did not have any exposure to him. I had 0%. This is where I'm telling you, I'm not going to get everything correct. I'm giving you as much information as I possibly can since we've been doing this for 10 years this July. I'm not going to get everything correct, and I completely understand that. I will be wrong sometimes. I will admit I'm wrong. I was absolutely wrong about Reed Detmers. If you use Detmers, let me know. Comment down below if you use Detmers and what the lineup you did use and if it cashed using him. So overall, the Orioles are a better team than Kansas City. Now they get to face Michael Wacha. He's obviously faced them before. 116 plate appearances, a 330 batting average. Then you got Dean Kramer, 12 plate appearances, 167. Love me some Dean Kramer here. If we just look at what Dean Kramer did, why is he not? Oh, there he is. So Dean Kramer is in here. Splits-wise, did not face Kansas City last year. Overall, had a 4.39 ERA, so a little bit inflated ERA. Gave up some home runs, had 157 strikeouts. In this matchup, I wouldn't use Wacha. I would use Dean Kramer here, but then I would use Orioles bats. So the bats that have had success, Ryan Mountcastle, 7 for 17 with a double and 2 home runs. Santander, 6 for 17 with a double and 2 home runs. Cedric Mullins, 8 for 18, 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run, 2 home runs. That's batting .444. Austin Hayes, 5 for 14 with a double and a triple. Ramon Urias, 5 for 12, a double, triple, and a home run. I mean, Adley, 2 for 11 with a home run. They have seen him. They have hit him very hard. I am off of Michael Wacha. This is my Reed Detmers today, but I am stacking the Orioles in this one. I don't want anything to do with Michael Wacha. I could be wrong, but I just don't see Michael Wacha doing well here in Baltimore as long as the weather does, in fact, hold up. There is a rain concern, so that's definitely something to look at. With rain, you kind of want to avoid the pitchers because they may go out for an inning or two, then there's a 2-hour delay, and then the batters hit. So that's one to look at. But I'm all in on the Orioles as the bats, and Dean Kramer is one of my pitchers. Go to the Reds versus the Phillies. You got Andrew Abbott versus Christopher Sanchez. Abbott's never faced them before. Sanchez has only faced 9 Reds bats, 333 batting average. So he gave up 3 hits, 44.4% strikeout rate. So we look at this. Pitching-wise, Christopher Sanchez against them didn't face them last year. So he only faced batters that weren't on the team last year. So last year, 101 innings pitched, 3.45 ERA, 97 strikeouts. So he very well there. So Christopher Sanchez at 7,700, I'm okay with. But this Cincy team's pretty scrappy. They're pretty good. They've been doing some things. So wouldn't be surprised if Christopher Sanchez has a great game here. But I wouldn't be surprised if Cincy bats come alive and hit him well. And then the flip side of that, you got Andrew Abbott against the Phillies last year, 3.87 ERA and 109 innings pitched. Obviously did not face the Phillies, like we said, hasn't faced anyone that's on the current team. Tournament-wise, I'm okay with it because, again, if you've been with us before, you know I love me a pitcher that's never faced a team before. GPP-wise, I'm okay with, especially on a 4-game slate with a weather concern in one of them and not the best pitching matchups in this one. Definitely will be looking at that a little bit. The bats that make sense, the Reds, I mean, Ellie De La Cruz, Spencer Steer, CES, like these guys make sense. Will Benson, we used him yesterday. He helped us out. Phillies, I mean, Schwarber with a home run. You got Trey Turner against a righty. Schwarber, righty, lefty, it really doesn't matter. Hits very well. And if you want to see how they did last year, go to MLB and go down to batter splits. It's got all of the stats for every player last year that you can split it and you can see how they've done against lefties and how they've done against righties last year. And that'll help you out as well. So all of this helps. It all definitely helps. So I'll use a little bit of Abbott. I don't know. Tournament-wise, both of these I'm okay with, but I think I'd rather take the bats in this game. And we talk about the bats. We show the bats on our cheat sheet. We have all of the stacks that we like, all of the batters in those stacks that we like. So, again, we're trying to make you a better DFS player via these videos. But if you need a little bit more help and you need to just kind of just a little bit more edge, go check out FTA+. Then we got the Angels at the Marlins. You got Chase Silseth versus Max Meyer. Silseth, 6 plate appearances, 400 batting average. Max Meyer, never facing anyone before, obviously. So Silseth here is 6,700. Splits-wise, last year faced Miami one time. 1 inning, so out of the bullpen. 18 ERA, so didn't do well in that inning. And we look at it, he had a 3.96 ERA last year. But again, I don't know if he's opening or if he's like a starter. Yeah, so this will be his first starting season. You can't really go off of what spring training showed. So this will be his first taste of being a starter. Miami, he could have worse teams to go against, but it's not a bad matchup for him, especially at 6,700 on a 4-game slate, possibly a 3-game slate if this one game gets rained out. We could see a lower scoring game, and you could take him at 6,700 to allow you to pay up. Max Meyer, on the other hand, he began the season as in the rotation because Yuri Perez is out, along with Braxton Garrett and Edward Cabrera. So he's making his season debut this Monday, which is today. So splits-wise, obviously, he has no numbers. 7,500, they haven't really talked about if he's on a pitch count, and that's kind of what I talked about. So, and in yesterday's video, I said I loved Kevin Gausman, but I didn't know how deep he would go into the game. Pitched well, but only went 4 innings. So being the most expensive pitcher and then only going 4 innings kind of stunk. But we did get the fantasy points we needed out of him. Kind of the same thing with Mayer. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he's going to go. Obviously, you would love 5 innings. And he has a great matchup here against the Angels. So you could use him and be good about it. Other than that, the bats that we would look at, the Angels bats that we would look at, maybe possibly Aaron Hicks, Mike Trout, Rendon until he decides he doesn't want to play anymore. Taylor Ward's an option. Flip side of that, if you're not using Silseth, the Miami bats that you look at, Brian De La Cruz, Luis Ariz, you could be looking at, just depending for Miami. Jazz had a grand slam. You could use him. Jake Berger. I don't mind Josh Bell being a switch hitter. I love Adolis Garcia. Or Avisel Garcia, sorry. You could look at him. You could look at Jesus Sanchez. It really just depends. So there are options in here to use if you aren't going with either of these pitchers. Then the final game on this turbo afternoon, middle slate, whatever you want to call it, Dane Dunning versus Ryan Pepio. Dunning, 37 plate appearances against Tampa Bay, 121 batting average, 29.7 K percentage. I don't mind him. He's going to be expensive. It's true. But not as expensive as I thought. Actually, no, he's 7,000. He has the best match. You could go Dunning and Silseth here, maybe. Last year faced Tampa Bay one time, 7 innings pitched in that game, 4 strikeouts, a 2.57 ERA. Overall 179.2 innings last year, a 3.76 ERA. So he had a better inning in that one start against Tampa Bay a better ERA than he did his season ERA. So Dane Dunning at his price feels like he's priced down for some reason. I don't know if that's a trap or not, but out of all these pitchers, I'd probably take Silseth, Dunning, Kramer, Meyer, and that's probably it. The other ones I'm scared to use. I just don't trust them enough. I'd rather take the bats in those games. And then the Texas bats, obviously, you would look at would be Simeon. You would look at Corey Seager, Adolis Garcia, Josh Young, Evan Carter. These are all bats that you could be looking at to use. I don't trust Tampa Bay right now, and I'd rather take Dunning over a Tampa Bay stack. And that brings us to the 7-game main slate for us, starting with Detroit Tigers at the New York Mets. The Mets are Metting right now. We have seen what they've done. Has not been pretty for them. That's for sure. So you got Reese Olson versus Sean Manaea. Reese Olson faced 3 plate appearances of them. This is a pitcher's park, though. Love this ballpark for New York for pitching. New York Mets ballpark is a pitcher's park. It's a massive outfield. But then Sean Manaea, on the other hand, 55 plate appearances, a 180 batting average. So we look at Reese Olson, and we look at his numbers last year. 21 games played, 18 of those are starts, 103 innings pitched, a 3.99 ERA. Splits-wise, he has not faced the Mets last year. Hasn't really faced, only 3 plate appearances, hasn't really faced them. I don't mind Reese Olson. I really don't mind him at all. Not the best ERA last year, but we could still take him. Still take Reese Olson, and it's a cheaper option here against a Mets team that has struggled to start the season. Sean Manaea, on the other hand, we do look at him. His price is at $7,800. We look at splits-wise. Faced Detroit once last year, 3.1 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks, 5.40 ERA. So we look at a glance last year, 4.44 ERA. I'm probably stacking. Honestly, I'm probably looking at Detroit bats over Mets bats in this one. Sorry, I had to pause. I don't know if you guys could hear my daughter. She decided to play at the top of the stairs right outside the office. So the Tigers bats that I would be looking at, Mark Canha against a lefty, I usually like. He's 0-5, but I'd still rather take him. Gio is 1 for 8 against Manaea, but that one hits a home run. Carson Kelly's 2 for 18 with a double and a home run. I would look at Torkelson. I would look at Jake Rogers as a cheaper option on this slate. Javi Baez, that's 2 days in a row that I've discussed Javi Baez as a potential option that I would potentially look at as starting in one of my lineups. So it just depends what we're looking at. But yeah, I would look at them. Riley Green's another one that I would look at. So I'm probably off the Sean Manaea train in a cash game, maybe tournaments. Then we'd look at... Yeah, it's going to be Detroit bats here, Reese Olson as well for cash, and then maybe Manaea for tournaments, but I don't think I want, as of now, I don't want any Mets bats. Blue Jays at the Astros, Bowden Francis versus Ronel Blanco. Not taking either of these pitchers. I'd rather look at the bats in this one because we've already talked about it. This game has the potential for the most amount of home runs projected right now. So I would definitely be looking at for Toronto, I'm looking at Vlad, I'm looking at Bichette, I'm looking at Springer, Cavan Biggio. These are ones that I would be looking at. The Astros, they started off very slow. They're 0-4 right now. They got swept by the Yankees. They've lost, did they say they've lost 9 straight home games? They start off slow. But again, they're going to have to break out at some point. So you're still going to have to be looking at, obviously, Yordan. Jose Altuve is going to be there. Kyle Tucker has been hitting the ball hard, but he just kept hitting it into gloves in the Yankees series. You'd be looking at him. I do like Diaz, their catcher, cheaper option. I like Chas McCormick, Jake Myers. It really depends on the lineup that comes out for Houston, but I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I don't think I want anything to do with the pitching. I'd rather take the bats that we've discussed. Then we look at the Red Sox versus the Athletics. Now, the Red Sox offense has really been Tyler O'Neill, but now they get a chance. They're flying across country. They're going to face the A's. Or no, they were in Seattle. They flew down to Oakland. Now they're facing the A's in this ballpark. I would take Tanner Houck. So 7 plate appearances, nothing against him. I would definitely look at Houck. He is taking a pitcher against the A's is normally the way to print money. A couple of times this weekend it didn't work out, but I'd rather take Tanner Houck there. He's $8,400, so he is expensive. He's the 3rd highest priced pitcher there. We look at his splits. Didn't face Oakland last year. At a glance, 106 innings pitched, 5 ERA, so a kind of high ERA. But I would still rather take him against Oakland. And then, honestly, the bats there's nothing really. It's Devers and Tyler O'Neill that I would look at for Boston. I don't trust the other ones. And maybe you want to go Joe Boyle as a, is he even here? Joe Boyle is 7,500. Three big starts toward the end of last season, 1.69 ERA. So the way Boston's been going, Boyle could be a sneaky option that people might be off of. You could look at it that way. Joe Boyle for tournaments, I'm A-okay with because the way Boston's offense has been to start the season, I don't mind that at all. Cleveland versus Seattle, you got Tristan McKenzie versus Emerson Hancock. McKenzie, 46 plate appearances, 225 batting average, a 26.1 K percentage. I don't mind that at all. Making his season debut against Seattle, not the best of matchups for him, but we can look at him. Let's take a look, and we can see he's the most expensive pitcher on the slate at $9,000. And he was hurt last year, so he only made 4 starts last year, only pitched 16 innings. He also was delayed for his spring start, but it was an encouraging start. So it depends. Don't know if he's stretched out. He only pitched 16 innings last year and a 5.06 ERA, so not the best, but also not showing his true colors there. So his matchup here, I honestly, for you guys, I'm at 9,000. It feels like Kevin Gausman again. I think he might have priced me out at 9,000, specifically because he got a late start to spring. He only pitched 4 games last year. I don't know if I can trust him in that. So he averaged 4 innings per start last year. I don't think I can trust him enough, especially against Seattle at home. I'd rather take Seattle bats. So I'm looking at Cal Raleigh, big dumper. I'm looking at Julio, Luke Raley, J.P. Crawford. These are the guys I'm looking at because while McKenzie has great stuff, delayed in spring training, not a good last year, kind of been injured, kind of want to avoid him right now. I want to see what he does. Maybe he has a fantastic start. Maybe he throws a perfect game. Probably not. Maybe he does. I'm probably priced out, especially on DraftKings where you have to take 2 pitchers, taking him at 9,000. So I am off the Tristan McKenzie train. I'm looking at Seattle stack. On the flip side, the Cleveland bats you could look at, Josh Naylor, Bo Naylor, Andres Jimenez I would look at. I would also obviously look at Jose Ramirez as well. Then we move on to the Cardinals versus the Padres. We got Kyle Gibson versus Matt Waldron. Gibson, 103 plate appearances, 259 batting average. This is a pitcher's park in San Diego against Matt Waldron, 10 plate appearances, 111. Kyle Gibson overall, we can look at his numbers. Where is he? There he is, 7,900. Splits, you kind of look at this, didn't play San Diego last year. 4.71 ERA last year. It just really depends on what Kyle... I mean, he's old. He's 115 years old. Going into this game against San Diego, I'm probably off of Kyle Gibson. I don't trust him enough, especially at a 4.71 ERA. But tournament, I'm okay with. Cash, there's absolutely no way I want anything to do with Kyle Gibson. Waldron, on the other hand, it really... 7,600. We look at this. Won the 5th spot. Splits-wise, faced Seattle once, or St. Louis once last year. 5.2 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 9 Ks, a 1.59 ERA. As bad as the Cardinals are, I think Waldron goes under owned today. I think Padres bats look good. I think Waldron looks good against the Cardinals. So that's where I'd go in that one. And then we go to the next game. Yankees versus the Diamondbacks. Luis Gil versus Ryan Nelson. Gil only faced 2 plate appearances against them. He won the spot in the 5th starter spot due to Garrett Cole being out, or I think maybe he won it before he was out. He's got great stuff. The stuff looks great during this spring training, so we can look at him. We look at Gil here at 7,200 against Arizona. Arizona's a good team. It's in Arizona. This is one of the games that's one of the highest chances for home runs per the simulations. But we look at this, and splits-wise, never faced Arizona before, only faced 2 batters there. Game logs, we didn't have anything last year. I think he was hurt with Tommy John, so he was out. I don't know how far stretched out he'll be, but the Yankees depended on the bullpen a lot this weekend, so they're going to need to see a little bit of linked out of him. So if he could go 5-6 innings at his price of 7,200, he pays it off. But Arizona's a really good team. So tournament-wise, I'm great with Gil. I don't mind him. Cash-wise, I'm not looking at him. I'm also not looking at Ryan Nelson. 25 plate appearances against the Yankees batters at least. I'm assuming it's Juan Soto. 3 for 11, 1 triple, 2 home runs. Soto's batting like 500 to start the season. I would absolutely look at him. Trent Grisham as well. You're looking at him. John Birdie, 1 for 3. I'm stacking the Yankees. Juan Soto's at the top of my list here. Until Aaron Judge figures it out, I'm looking at Juan Soto. I'm looking Glaber at the top. I don't mind. I would look at Trent Grisham. He might start. We don't really know. John Birdie, 1 for 3, but he's an on-base machine. He gets hits. You could look at John Birdie. Oswaldo Cabrera, I think, still continues to start. I don't see how he doesn't start. So I would look at him. I would look at, depending on who's in there, Austin Wells probably gets a start here. I don't mind Austin Wells. Volpe had, I believe, the stomach bug or the flu. If he is in, I love the way he started. I would take Volpe. But again, we kind of got to watch to see if he's going to be in. I bet if Volpe is in, John Birdie doesn't start. So I'm still looking at a Yankee stack. I'm still looking at Luis Gil here, and I'm feeling confident about it. I don't trust Nelson the way the Yankees have started the season. They're on a high note. I would rather take Gil, and then I would take the Yankees as a stack. And then we get to the Giants versus the Dodgers. We got Keaton Winn versus to be announced. It's very hard to want to take Keaton Winn against the Dodgers at home. But Keaton Winn grew up about 20 minutes from where I currently live right now. So it's kind of a cool story that I know someone who's pitching against Shohei Ohtani today, which is cool. But again, if you want to, I wouldn't throw money on it. So we kind of look at what he did last year. Now, he did have an arm injury, and they didn't think he was going to be behind for opening day, or they thought he was going to be behind. But last year against the Dodgers, 5.1 innings, 6 earned runs, 3 home runs, 5 Ks. Yeah, 10.13 ERA. Not the best team to go against to start. So I'm off Keaton Winn as much as I want to because I know his family. I'm off of him there. Okay. I'm stacking the Dodgers. Mookie Betts probably hits a home run in this one. Freddie Freeman. Shohei is due for a home run. Pretty much anyone in this lineup. Teoscar Hernandez, if he starts, I don't know. I'm looking at stacking the Dodgers. I don't want anything to do with Keaton Winn. And then it looks like it's going to be James Paxton. It looks like it. Now, again, last year, 19 starts, somehow got those starts in there. 96 innings, 101 Ks, 450 ERA. Probably, I could see James Paxton being a good play for you. Last year faced the San Francisco Giants one time, 5 innings, 1 earned run, 5 Ks. If Paxton is actually the starter, I don't mind him against San Francisco. But I am 100% stacking the Dodgers here. Probably my favorite stack on the slate, if not one of the top 3. So there you have it. Those are the breakdown of the pitchers and the bats that we like. Now, we are going to give you, like I said, the top 20 bats through 10,000 simulations. Now, we do 20,000 simulations a day. So what I usually tell everyone is check out the video and check out all the stuff we have, the article and everything. Check back to the MLB player projections about 2 hours before first pitch of normally the main slate, because that's when it's updated completely and you can see if we still who we like. But just looking at these plays that we feel confident about, okay? We're looking at through the top 20. These are the current top 20. Now, these aren't, it might not be updated by the time, the slate locks. That's why you have to check out all of the other information that we have. But we look at this. Currently, right now, we've got number 1, which is kind of surprising, is Jorge Polanco versus Tristan McKenzie. Number 2 is Patrick Wisdom versus Dakota Hudson. 3 is Chris Morel against Hudson. 4 is Jan Gomes against Hudson. 5 is Joey Meneses versus Marcos Gonzalez. 6 is Dansby Swanson versus Dakota Hudson. 7 is Aaron Judge versus Nelson. 8 is Mike Tauchman versus Hudson. 9 is Seiya Suzuki against Hudson. 10 is George Springer versus Ronel Blanco. 11 is Matt Olson versus Chris Flexen. 12 is Mitch Garver versus Tristan McKenzie. 13 is he's out. 13 is J.P. Crawford versus Tristan McKenzie. 14 is Matt Chapman versus Paxton. 15 is Cody Bellinger versus Hudson. 16 is Lamont Wade Jr. versus James Paxton. 17 is Vlad Guerrero Jr. versus Blanco. 18, CJ Abrams versus Marcos Gonzalez. 19, Juan Soto versus Ryan Nelson. And number 20 is, as of now, is Mookie Betts versus Keaton Winn. Now, if you look at that, it is absolutely loving the Cubs. It's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in the top 20. 7 in the top 20. Then it's got a couple of Atlanta bats. It's got 3 Seattle bats. It's got 2 San Francisco bats, a Washington bat, and 2 Yankees bats as well. So again, these are initial through 10,000 simulations. Once all the Vegas odds come out, once the weather comes out and we know what's going to happen, that might take away the Cubs. Like, there are weather concerns going on. That might take away some of these, and that's when we'll rerun them, get the 20,000 simulations, and bring everything to your table so we can feast on some green. So that's what I've got in this video. Make sure you check out everything on the website. Thanks for watching this. Check back tomorrow. Good luck, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace!